Thank you, Lord, for every day, for the love that lights my way. Blessings come and blessings go. In your grace my soul will grow. When I rise and when I fall.
Hi, welcome to my channel, Making It Make Sense. Thanks for joining. If it's your first time and if you're returning, welcome back. Today I just wanted to take a few minutes because I was watching YouTube last night and someone was talking about like the election and well, I guess the past like 2 days I've seen like a few people talking about the election and worrying about talking about like if things are gonna get crazy. And it's just like my opinion is I just feel like at this point it's just like no telling what's going to happen. I mean that it can happen. Like most people are saying, just like either way, no matter who wins. So it's like I'm not really trying to get caught up in the like it's gonna happen, it's not gonna happen. So I'm not doing anything like extra, just doing just like the same regular things that I've been doing, just like preparing and stocking up. And I'll probably, this is September, so I'll probably just look over some extra items that I have in my home and just try to like fill gaps on stuff that I know that I don't have or that I used up. So one thing I guess is just kind of make sure that I have like extra cleaning supplies, personal hygiene items like tissue, soap, toilet paper, stuff like that. I'll just make sure like between now in September and October to get them before November as much as I can possibly do. And just like go through my cabinets and my food storage and see and water supplies and see what I need. So I don't have like necessarily a lot of extra money right now to do anything extra. That's why I'm not. But I'm just gonna myself just whatever I can do, which is again, like I say, the water. So I'm going to be able to get extra water. So yeah, I went through a few small cases of water, so I'm gonna have to replace those. And as far as snacks, yeah, I'll probably have to make sure because I never really keep a lot of snacks anyways. Because when I keep snacks, it's just like we eat them right away, so I don't even try to buy a lot of snacks. But I definitely would try this month and next month before November, and even November if nothing's happened uh, at the beginning of November, I'll go ahead and 3 months try to get snacks 3 times. And like I said, just kind of like fill in the gaps as far as food was missing or what I think that I would need and how long I would need it for. Or just basically just getting what I can get extra. And as far as my opinion on if something is going to happen, I just feel like there's really no way to tell. The only thing you can do is just kind of, just, listen and watch out. Because that's about it. Because I mean, different areas it may experience different things. And where I'm from, where I am, I don't really. I guess you could see where I'm in Texas, so hopefully nothing, no happens where I am. Don't open this. No. So hopefully nothing happen close by. I don't think we have too much to worry about as far as riots and all that other stuff people are talking about. So I think that's just like hopefully that'll just mostly be like at and around the White House as far as I'm concerned. Hopefully that'll be just like the mass projection of the activities will be like out that way, far away from me and my family. But feel like that if they're, along with the election, if there's some like nationwide disaster that comes along with it, like loss of power or something like that, then I think that's the only time that I would have to be concerned. But it's just as far as just like the riots itself, I don't think where I am, like I said, hopefully it's just not nothing that I have to worry about. So I will just be doing like everybody else, just like listening, watching, and paying attention to what's going on, especially like closer to and after, and just see like how everything turns out. And then if nothing still happens, just like, for some time after, just to be constantly like, paying attention to what's going on around other parts of the world and country and United States. So, and also my other another take that I had on it is, I just sometimes I feel like maybe they're just like putting it out into the universe. They keep speaking of stuff happening. So the more people that hear it's gonna happen, then they're more likely to like act on it to create. So I feel like the fear mongering is going to like cause the situation to be like worse than it could have been if nobody say anything. Because I think because as we're getting closer, everybody keep talking and talking and talking about, what could happen potentially, then I think that's only just like giving, the bad people out there like ideas that like, hey, it's gonna happen. So they're already thinking that it's gonna happen. So they just wanna like get it started before it happens kind of situation. And I just think of that kind of like as a kind of like the what do you call that when there's like copycat, like when there's a serial killer. And then, while the detectives and everybody's working to try to find the serial killer, then there's a lot of like copycats out there. So that's what I feel like it's just gonna happen just by word of mouth, by people saying stuff. They're just bringing it on. So there might be some people that already are not like mentally stable or mentally there. And so that they hear about it and then they're thinking like, oh, it's gonna happen. So I need to be a part of it or something. And so I just feel like all the talk is just making it like worse than it could or should be. That's my personal opinion. So, but I mean, I'm just like everybody else, just hoping nothing does happen. But if it does, I mean, it's not really much that we can do. We can just only like try to prepare our best and just, prepare to serve your family and just make emergency plans if available about what you and your family can do. So, like I said, I really haven't been talking to anybody about it. I mentioned it to, just like once or twice, but not nothing like really long and drawn out. So this is like about the longest of my rant or just perspective on the situation. Because like I said, personally, I hope nothing in my area happens. But I mean, because of just like stuff that's already been happened with the one person that I'm not gonna mention name, but just because of incidents that have happened before, and just because of what's going on now, what they're trying to do to him. I know a lot of his supporters are not going to be very happy, like with the other outcome and with some of the other situations that are going on with him and some of the different outcomes. So that's the only thing that I'm really concerned about because, the other way around, if it doesn't work out for his supporters, uh, that's the only thing. Like, if it doesn't work it out for his supporters, it's in the other person's favor, then, you have to worry about them. And then also the other way around, it works out for him, then the other person's party supporter, might feel a certain type of way uh just because of everything that's been going on. That may just feel like, I guess either side feel like the other person doesn't deserve to be in office either way, and they just really don't these supporters don't like those supporters. So I think it's like everybody's just like they're just like for it this way or for it this way. So that's the only thing I think that's been like the most controversial election, except for the one other one. But this is like the top one that I can think of in my lifetime that's just causing like a lot of panic and a lot of worry. But hopefully, like I said, it's nothing. And I think that I talked about all my points. But I mean, that's just personally how I feel. I just feel like it's just a bunch, everybody setting the scene for something that might necessarily wouldn't have happened if we were not all talking about it. But since everybody's talking about it, then there's, getting, it's like months and months and months leading up to it. The more you talk, the more buzz and circulation is going on about the situation. So that's what I feel like you're just putting fuel to the fire, and then by it taking like months to happen, and then everything that's happening in between these months leading up, and then just like the outcome is just going to be the big determining factor as far as what happened, not only with the election, but with just like a bunch of other stuff that's going on in the meantime for the election. So it's just a bunch of craziness. But the only thing you can do is just like kind of try to predict what you think might happen and just kind of predict, far out. Like, oh, okay, if there are riots, even if it's not in my part of, you know, my state or state next to me, even it could be like in New York or Illinois or something, but you might want to think about as far as, on the larger scale, like people transporting goods and things, like the truck drivers that can't, if there's riots and stuff in the street, they can't really get to and from their destinations. So they're not going to be able to get to and from the stores as quickly. And so if they're not able to, then you can just kind of guess, the same thing as far as like the postal service and other services. So that's like one thing you might want to consider. So if you, usually mail your bills, you might want to do them like early ahead of time, a couple of weeks earlier than normal. Or you might just want to figure out another way to pay them, just like either online or over the phone. So that are like some things just to consider, just as far as even if something is not going on in your particular area. So you gotta kind of have to think about that, how, what's going on in other parts of uh, the United States is going to affect you, even if it's something that's not locally. And then if it's something that's going on, other than just the riots itself, if it's something more extreme, then you kind of want to just kind of assess the situation also and think about, okay, well, if something, you kind of want to think about scenario A, B, and C, and like what's the worst that could happen, and like the least worst thing that could happen. So you kind of want to think like on both spectrums and like in between. So that's like my best advice is just think about all the things, like whatever you can imagine happening, just think about that and think about how it will affect you. Even if it's not like locally affecting you, then, you know, just say it's nothing going on here in Texas, but like, I mean, there could be something going on like in California, in New York, Illinois, Maryland, uh, Arizona. So it could be stuff going on like a bunch of other states, but it's not, like in your local area. So you think about how that would affect you, like I said, as far as some services and goods. And then even if you think that you may be in an area where stuff would happen, then you want to kind of think far ahead and think about what you should, you know, be doing now to prevent, just like a lot of chaos in your own personal life. So, like, for instance, and it could be anything small as just like taking some time off work, a couple of days or a couple of weeks or a month or just the one day that you think is most important, or just like even right now, if you think right now you need to take some time off to prepare. Because I was watching YouTube and one person said they took time off work to like, kind of get some extra supplies and stuff. They're like, yeah, I just went ahead and took me a day off so that I could go ahead and buy extra personal items and like food and water. And they just kind of use the personal day just to kind of prepare. So, yeah, you just want to think about things that you can do now and then things that you can do then. And just kind of want to, that way you won't be caught off guard and you can have time to like think. So, like now, you just kind of want to start thinking about things that could happen and how it will affect you. But I think that's it for this video. And I gave my perspective. I'm not saying that I'm right or I'm wrong, but that's just my opinion. And I guess in the comments, you could just like leave your thoughts as far as you think if something is major gonna happen or major something not gonna happen, and like what have you been doing to just like prepare you and your family. But also just even simple things like if you want to go and just like purchase extra Bibles or for your home or for your family members or your household. Just I mean it could be just something simple like that. You just want to make sure you have extra Bibles, or like I said, you want to go through your food and extra supplies. Make sure you got your canned goods, shelf stable milk, personal items, cleaning supplies. And if you're able to just like store gas for your car, because like I said, there are riots in your area. You may not be able to get to certain gas stations, or you might not even, you might just want to go straight to and from work. And if you got some gas stored at home, then that would be like a good option. But just kind of think of just like different things that you can do now to just kind of prepare your mind. So if something does happen, you won't be like caught up, or like I said, you won't be stressing yourself out. You can just be prepared and be like, well, I planned ahead of time. So it's not going to affect me as much as if I had it prepared. But thanks. Hopefully this video is not too long and I will be able to download it. And I will see you soon.